Will Joe Biden now come under active investigation? Or did we witness yet more kabuki theater yesterday morning? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is another Declaration of Truth from your host, Terry A. Hurlman. The House Republican leadership promised a blizzard of investigations of the Biden administration and family. They promised to look to prove bribery and malfeasance in office, both impeachable offenses. Now, less than 2 days after getting the 218th House seat, two incoming Republican chairmen held a lengthy press conference yesterday morning. And at this conference, they promised to investigate not only Joe Biden's notorious son Hunter, but also Biden himself. But their motives for calling that press conference might still be self-serving. And for that reason, I'll believe it when I see it. Before I share my doubts, I do want to shout out to the prime sponsor of this channel, which is Conservative News and Views. Link in the description. And be sure to check out the awesome CNAV Store. Scroll down near the bottom for that link. Lots of great merchandise there, and especially this t-shirt, which I have chosen for today, which quotes Joe Biden as trying to say something profound, except that it comes out, "Buy a man, eat fish, the day teach man to lifetime." Now that literally is a good illustration of his cognitive ability. He really needs to be 25th amendmented to the psychiatric ward of Bethesda Naval Hospital. Failing that, a Republican leadership that didn't get the supermajorities they would need to do something real about this president will now pretend to investigate him. One more thing. If you like what you're about to hear, you can like this video. You can also check the bell icon to get a notice every time I come out with a new one. In fact, you see the new icon, the heart shape with the US dollar sign in it? That's the super thanks icon. If you really want to keep these videos coming, click on that and leave me a tip. Any currency will do so long as it's legal tender. So, yesterday morning at about 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time, Representatives James Comer from Kentucky, incoming chairman of the House Oversight and Reform Committee, and Jim Jordan of Ohio, incoming chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, laid on a press conference. The YouTube channel NTD streamed it live and saved it. I have a link to it in the description, and I will put it into the end screen. Additional reportage comes from Fox News and Creative Destruction Media. Mr. Comer concentrated on the actual allegations against the Bidens. All these allegations concern Hunter Biden's business dealings in Eastern Europe and elsewhere, and Joe Biden's complicity, if any. They include wire fraud, tax evasion, and money laundering, all federal offenses. Comer described President Biden as a direct equity holder, and I quote him, "Evidence suggests Joe Biden had a 10% equity stake through his son Hunter. Hunter brought in millions of dollars from this deal from entities linked to the Chinese government," unquote James Comer, who also accused Joe Biden's brother Jim of involvement in these corrupt deals. Quote, "Domestically, Jim Biden used the Biden name to enrich himself in return for the promise that when Joe Biden became president in 2020, well, 2021, but who's quibbling, business partners would get rich by having access to a future Biden administration. By bringing his brother Joe Biden onto phone calls, Jim Biden was able to convince companies to give him loans of hundreds of thousands of dollars that he never repaid." Close quote. Later on he says, and again, I quote, "We also found plans based in the United States where the Biden family swindled investors of hundreds of thousands of dollars, all with Joe Biden's participation and knowledge. To be clear, Joe Biden is the big guy." Close quote. Mr. Comer released a 31-page interim staff report of purported findings of the House Oversight Committee, or at least its Republican contingent. I have a link in the description to that report. Mr. Jordan, for his part, focused on the deliberate suppression of the first hint that the Biden family behaves exactly like a crime family. This was the story of the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop computer, the one that he turned in for repair and then abandoned. In fact, The Intercept, for still unclear motives, broke the story of private firms as state actors, and most of you will remember my talking about it, and in case you don't, I'm going to put that into the end screen also. The Hunter Biden laptop story was one of many examples of this conduct, or rather its suppression. So Representative Jordan has solid grounds to accuse the FBI and its big tech partners of suppressing information the American people had a right to know. Largely as a result of this state actor behavior, anything regarding Hunter Biden has become easy to dismiss as 1, irrelevant to President Biden's conduct of the affairs of state, or 2, a groundless conspiracy theory to excuse alleged insurrection or rebellion on the part of those bringing the accusation. Naturally, Hunter Biden's business dealings and any connection of them to the president would be prime targets for investigation. Conservative voters, seeing Republicans take control of the House, would expect such investigation. But all of it is kabuki theater. Before I tell you why, I want to shout out to a sponsor who can really help you through the economic storms to come. That sponsor is oursilverlines.com. Do you feel like you're working harder for your money just to get by? You are not alone. The fluctuating economy, employment issues, and unexpected changes in life have left many families struggling over the past few years. Collecting gold and silver can help shield you against many of these challenges. But if you're like me many years ago, you don't know where or how to start. Our Silver Lines helps by connecting you with thousands of members who are learning the secrets to creating and protecting true wealth by collecting precious metals. Now, whether you just want to collect rare and unique coins or take advantage of the business opportunities this company provides, either way, they can help you learn to live an exceptional life. Visit oursilverlines.com to learn how you can build a legacy for your future. All right, here's the deal. The senior House leadership has a self-serving motive, either to lay on these investigations or to let Representatives Comer and Jordan do it for them. Representative Andy Biggs of Arizona, and yes, he'll be back, recently challenged Representative Kevin McCarthy of California for his position as Republican floor leader. That challenge came to nothing. As Laura Loomer reported on Telegram, Representative McCarthy secured his continuing leadership 188-31 by secret ballot 3 days ago. Naturally, conservatives are furious. So perhaps McCarthy gave the green light to Comer and Jordan to talk about investigating the Bidens to placate conservatives. And you want to know what really bugs me? Nothing is likely to come of any such investigations. The Attorney General will ignore any criminal referrals of the Biden family. The full House might, or might not, pass articles of impeachment, but the Senate will never convict on them. It takes 2/3 of the senators present to convict anyone on impeachment. Republicans will be blessed to have 50 senators, and that depends on Herschel Walker winning his runoff. Now, I've read that interim staff report. Yes, it looks damning for the president and other members of the Biden family. But anyone can write a nice-looking report. The problem is, like Bill Clinton, this president has plenty of friends who will shrug and say, so what? The Republican leadership surely knows this, and that leaves no reason to suppose that any such investigation will bear fruit. So don't let anybody fool you. I'll tell you when something is afoot that you can really get behind. This ain't it. Link in the description of the article, to the press conference, to the interim staff report, to my Declarations of Truth Twitter account, and to Conservative News and Views. I've also left links to the awesome CNAV Store and to oursilverlines.com, as I also mentioned. You know already about how to like a video, turn on notification, and leave a tip. And on the end screen, I'm going to leave a subscribe link to my channel and links to videos that I've done about at other times about the state actors, and certainly put in that press conference and anything else I can find. This is Terry A. Hurlbut delivering another declaration of truth and reminding you to let the truth set you free.